Hello, my name is METİN Arıdaşır. This is 356th part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory and my formulas, whenever a light source, don't forget, unique light source is electron motion forms, the source of consecutive light waves, if it is free. Whenever an electron motion form or electron motion forms are in motion, speed of light becomes variable velocity of light. And all kinds of continuous spectrums, X-rays, continuous spectrums, from stars, thermal radiation, they say, thermal radiation, continuous spectrums, even cosmic microwave background radiation, even it is a continuous spectrum, represent variable velocities of light depending on its source or its sources. In accepted physics theories, wrongly taught and propagate that the speed of light is constant and independent of its source motion. This is wrong according to me. Last JWST space telescopes data confirms my theories. Here, continuous spectrum from in motion free electron motion form. It is not important whether source or observer motions. When a source or an observer in motion, we will see continuous spectrum. Okay? Without continuous spectrum, if electron motion form is not relocating, this continuous spectrum will not occur. Only a single wavelength. Okay. And continuous spectrum sources are free electron motion forms. This continuous spectrum represent different wavelengths of electron motion forms and its waves. For instance, this is an electron motion form in motion at a certain velocity, so this is its for any point wave velocity formula that I put forward. Okay, what I say D, wave velocity for any point of electron motion form, 40 degree, 0 degree, 180 degrees, etc. is what? C, in fact, n multiplied by n is wave number, n multiplied by c minus VE cosine alpha. Okay, this is electron motion forms, so say source velocity. Okay, and this is variable wavelength concerned with related electron motion forms velocity. Its formula is lambda alpha equals to what? N multiplied by lambda minus delta lambda cosine alpha. But what about frequency? Here, frequency for continuous spectrum does not change. It is constant. Okay. Opposite to Planck's constant, Planck's law. Because according to Planck's theory, each wavelength represents a different frequency. No. Frequency is what? N multiplied by C minus electron motion form cosine alpha divided by lambda normal N multiplied minus electron motion form velocity cosine alpha is equals to C divided by lambda, the same. Here and here. Whatever its wave velocity and contracting or enlarging wavelength, frequency is constant according to me. Okay. Here, for instance, for X-rays, especially for X-rays, I guess. Okay. At this point, maximum wavelength, normal lambda, here is minimum lambda. Shortest shortened wavelength, as I told you before. If it is so, here, lambda, this point represents lambda. This point, lambda minus delta lambda, minimum wavelength, and here, 90 degrees. In 180 degrees, velocity of light will be twice, approximately. Okay. Greater than the speed of light. But here, 90 degree speed of light doesn't change. Here represents 0 degree direction. Electron motion forms motion direction. Okay, motion direction, 0 degree. Here, from now, $20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees. Okay, for each point, corresponding different wavelength, different wave velocity. But frequency doesn't change. Different wavelength, different wave velocity. Okay, because velocity of light for moving source for a wavelength point is n multiplied by speed of light minus speed of light velocity of source electron cosine alpha, according to me. Nowadays, big crisis in astrophysics according to accepted physics theories, universe is homogeneous, and for each point, everything is the same, and the speed of light is constant, and space is expanding, etc. In every direction, nothing changes. But see, cosmic microwave background radiation, as I explained before, is anisotropic, direction dependent, black body radiation like display. Cosmic microwave background radiation. Okay. Because our observing device, say telescopes, orbiting around the sun. And while doing this, of course, there will be continuous spectrum like cosmic microwave background radiation. And while observing, they say nowadays expanding rates and speeds is changing relatively position of observer. I guess they say like this. James Webb telescope data said that, but this is natural, because whenever source or observer in motion, we see variable velocity of light, not constant speed of light. And we will see what? Continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrums, according to me, always represent variable light velocity. Okay? Always. Whether it is observer or it is source, light source. Unique light source are electron motion forms, don't forget that. And don't forget, by the way, there are two main light types in our universes. One of continuous spectrum, natural light or white light, like this, from X-rays, continuous spectrums to thermal radiations, etc., CMBR, and proton-bound single-wave pulses, like this. Pulse, single pulse, not consecutive waves. Continuous spectrum represent free electron motion forms, consecutive waves, and these spikes represent single wave pulses from proton-bound excited electron motion forms. Excited by whom? By free electron motion forms, consecutive waves, as I told you before. And whatever except the speed of light is constant. Schwarzschild formulas include Okay. Geodesics, general relativity, etc., or special relativity, or Big Bang, or